Raider Nation, what's going on? It's Mitchell Renz here, host of the Raiders Report, and we're going to be previewing, and I'm also going to be giving you my score prediction of the Raiders' Week 7 matchup against the Chicago Bears. The Silver and Black have won 2 games in a row, sitting there at 3-3, but they're going on the road in a hostile environment in Chicago, even though this team is 1-5. Lots of injury news to discuss, which we'll get to, and then we're also going to give you our keys to victory. But anytime we do a show like this, whether it's live, whether it's on a later date, there's going to be lots and lots of Bears fans in our chat. So all I ask you is this: hold it down. Treat this place like Oakland. If you're here on the Raiders Report, I want you to treat this like the Coliseum. Wear it with pride. So if you see anybody spamming Bears, type those LVs. We got to be loud. We got to be proud. So let me know who you got: Chicago Bears or the Las Vegas Raiders. Let's go to our keys to victory here. I got 5 keys on offense, and I'm going to go to 5 keys on the defensive side of the football. The first key on offense is spice up the offense. I want Josh McDaniels to treat this game like he's cooking. I don't want to just have bland chicken, no salt, no pepper, tastes like crap. No, put some spice into it a little bit. The reason why this Raiders offense is bad right now is because you got Jimmy Garoppolo, who stinks. Combine that with an offensive-minded guy that's got no creativity whatsoever. That gives you the Raiders product out on the field right now, which is one of the worst offenses in the National Football League. I don't know if it's going to be Brian Hoyer. I am anticipating that Aidan O'Connell is going to get the start here under center, and I'm telling y'all right now, Aidan O'Connell gives the Raiders a better chance to win than Jimmy Garoppolo, than Brian Hoyer. And he also has the arm that gives the Raiders offense more in general to do a lot more things, because Jimmy G can't stretch the field, and teams don't respect Jimmy Garoppolo. We've seen it now for 4.5 games. They don't respect Jimmy G. I'm not saying they sit up here and they respect Aidan, but you know what? You can get them to respect you. How? Stretching the ball down the field, airing it out, throwing it on outside, inside. The Bears safeties have really struggled this season, especially in the coverage area. All I'm saying is spice up the offense, because what you've been doing clearly isn't working. So we need to do something different. Let's go to the next key here. You got to get Davante Adams going. And I'm not always a big believer in forcing targets, but if there is one player I am okay forcing targets to, it's to Davante. There's been some rumors out there. There's reports that Davante left the Week 6 game against the Patriots early, a little bit upset, and maybe he's upset because the Raiders aren't using him, and it feels like he's wasting his time. So you know what a good head coach does? They go, all right, let's get Davante Adams involved. And that doesn't even seem like that's that bad of an idea, am I right? I mean, over the past 3 weeks, Davante hasn't gotten the usage that he's accustomed to. So if I am trying to do my job effectively, I'm going to try to figure out ways to get Davante in one-on-one situations instead of just always leaving him over on one side of the field and drawing up the same bland plays. I want to see the Raiders get Davante involved. The next key to victory here on offense is throw the ball to Josh Jacobs. As it stands right now, the Chicago Bears have given up the most receiving yards to the running back position. And a few weeks ago, I kind of talked about this same key with the Green Bay Packers. I don't really need to see Amir Abdullah get involved. I'm kind of good on that. Brandon Bolden, the fact that he's even making 2-point-whatever million on this team and they never play him, that's an absolute joke. So what do I want to see Aidan do? The last time O'Connell was the starting quarterback, he got Josh Jacobs going through the air. And I get it. The Raiders, they cannot run the football right now. They are second worst team in the NFL rushing yards per game. Jacobs hasn't been able to get it going because teams stack the box. How can you also run without actually running? You throw it to your running back in short instances, try to get him into space, and try to get the ball moving. The Bears have struggled this season covering the running back position. I want to really take advantage of that mismatch this upcoming week. The next thing is this. Let's get Michael Mayer involved. And said it last week, and maybe they watched this show because he had 5 catches for 75 yards. It's just going to open up the entire offense. On top of that, the Bears also are one of the worst teams in the National Football League at covering the tight end position. So let's get the tight end involved. Let's get Josh Jacobs going. And if you're able to take the attention off of Jacoby Myers and off of Davante for just a second because they're worried about baby Gronk here, I guarantee you it's going to lead to big things happening down the field. And then the last one is this, and it's the one that I will continue to say, and I almost get mad at myself for how many times I have put this on the show for keys to victory, because I always like to switch things up, but it's taking care of the football. Like, That is the most important thing that this Raiders offense can do right now. You are tied for second with the most giveaways on offense with 12. You can't have a rookie quarterback. You can't have Jimmy Garoppolo. You can't have your current quarterback situation turn the ball over the way that they've been turning the ball over. And I'm so confident right now in this Raiders defense against the Chicago Bears offense that if the Raiders don't turn the ball over, they will win this game. And that's as plain as simple as it can get. If the Raiders take care of the ball and they don't leave Chicago in short field positions, they will win this game because the Bears offense is not good enough to drive it on a consistent basis. Now, I'm going to give you my keys to victory here on defense in just a second. But hey, I love PrizePicks. I know that y'all are going to live them as well. And everybody watching right now, go get started with our sponsor. All you got to do is go to the link that you see down below, prizepicks.com/CLNS, and make sure that you use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. PrizePicks is daily fantasy sports made easy, and it's the most fun that I've had, winning up to 25 times my money this football season. You just select 2 or more players, pick more or less on their projected stats, and then place your entry. Quick withdrawals, easy gameplay, and an enormous selection of players and stat types are what make PrizePicks the #1 daily fantasy sports app out there. So if I'm going to sit up here and tell you, like, hey, I'm using it, well, I'm also going to tell you why I'm going with the picks that I'm going with. Derek Carr, Thursday Night Football, short week. Give me the less on his passing yards. Alvin Kamara, give me the more on his receiving yards because I know Carr is going to want to check it down here and there. And then, yeah, the New York Giants offense is bad right now. We can all agree on that, right? Arguably the worst offense in the NFL. I think it is actually statistically the worst offense in the NFL. So give me less on the rushing yards there by Saquon Barkley. And if this ends up hitting, shit, guess what? I make $50, and that sounds pretty good to me. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS. Easy and exciting daily fantasy, even if you're not really interested in watching a certain game. I'm telling you right now, you go to PrizePicks, you put down some money, you go more or less on a certain player, team, players, MLB, NBA, NFL. I'm telling you, you're going to be locked and loaded in that game. The entertainment value, it's there, and it's not even close. I promise, Nation, you guys are going to love PrizePicks. So again, go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. That link's going to be available to you all down in the comments and in the description of today's video. All right, let's go to the next thing here on the show. It's my 5 defensive keys. And if y'all don't already know, make sure you're subscribed because when Chugs and I go live on Sunday for our watch party, it's going to be wild, and we're going to be taking down our Bears channel. 2 out of our 3 biggest channels here at Chat Sports, Raiders, Bears. And we're going to be challenging. We might not win on the field, but we will win here on YouTube. Let's go here to defense. Blitz, and blitz a little bit more. The latest around Justin Fields is they do not expect him to be able to play in this game. So whoever the hell is that quarterback, I mean, the Bears, at the time I am making this video, they signed Trace McSorley to the practice squad. Then you got the backup, what's his name? And then you got Nathan Peterman. Bagent, exactly. I don't even know the hell this guy's name. So guess what? He's not going to scare me. And the Bears are a team predicated on being able to use their athletic quarterback in Justin Fields. So you know what? I'm going to make this Bagent guy beat me. Blitz, get after him, make him uncomfortable because I don't think he's going to be good enough to beat you unless you let him sit back there because then anybody can probably do it in the NFL. Let's go to the next thing here. I want to stack the box. I do not want the Chicago Bears to beat us with their running game. They're going to try to run the football with Deonta Foreman. They're going to try to run the football with Khalil Herbert. It's what they do. They run the rock. Now, usually they have a running QB, and maybe that's why they got Trace McSorley here involved a little bit. I don't know the answer, but if you stack the box and make them throw it down the field, I believe our players are good enough to match up with them one-on-one -1 receiver, and I'll get to him here in just a second. The next key to victory is I'm putting Jacorian Bennett on the bench. Jacorian Bennett, in the nicest way that I can possibly say this, has been a liability. I mean, last week, he was 4 of 5, gave up 32 yards, a quarterback rating something like in the 100s, and the only ball that wasn't completed was the drop, like 55-yard ball to Davante Parker. I mean, we just got to be able to face the facts here. Jacorian Bennett has been bad. He has been unreliable. To me, there's a reason why the Raiders went out and they signed Sam Webb to the practice squad. And I get it. I want to see Tyler Hall. I want to see Amik Robertson out there. And I want Jacorian to be able to develop into the player that I think he can be. But the Raiders run a lot of man. And right now, the quarterback rating against Jacorian Bennett in man coverage is 156. A perfect rating is 158.3. That's how bad Bennett has been in man coverage. He's been a little bit better in zone. He's somewhere around like a 95 quarterback rating against them. But here's the thing, right? Like, I'm a straight shooter. If I'm going to rip people apart, if I'm going to, praise people for being good, I got to be able to speak facts. And Jacorian Bennett is a liability right now on defense. You got to put him on the bench. You got to sit him and learn. He needs to get better because right now, you can't have him out there because that's where teams are going to go. And if I'm the Chicago Bears and I see Jacorian Bennett out there on the field, you know what I'm doing? I'm putting DJ Moore on him. And you cannot have that happen because my next key here is you take away DJ Moore. You know what the New England Patriots did last week to Davante Adams? That's what the Raiders need to do this week to DJ Moore. I don't care if you double team him. I don't care if every time he's out there on the field, you say, you know what? You're on him. That's it. I don't care if there's a guy wide open streaking down the field. DJ Moore will not catch a football. That is my goal because the Bears don't have any other playmakers out there that can beat you the way that DJ Moore can beat you. I think Cole Kmet is a good tight end. Not really worried about him all that much. I actually think Darnell Mooney is a halfway decent receiver. They just don't really use him. The one player that in a snap of a finger can change the game and can go 75, 80 yards is DJ Moore. I'm going to stack the box. I'm going to try to take away Khalil. I'm going to try to take away Deonta Foreman, but I know that I cannot let DJ Moore beat me. And then the final thing is this. No big plays. To me, the Bears are not talented enough on offense, even with Justin Fields. Now you take away Justin Fields, and now you're putting in a backup quarterback. They're not going to be able to go down the field 10 plays, 75 yards, touchdown. 7 plays, 8 plays, 9 plays. Offenses like the Bears with a backup QB, they don't have the talent to go that many play drives. They're going to rely on the deep ball. They're going to rely on a big play in order to get into the end zone. So if you're the Raiders, and I get it, Patrick Graham is a big bend but don't break type of guy. I want to see this defense get aggressive and be even more aggressive because they match up well with the Chicago Bears. Coming up next here is some injury news, and I've kind of already spoke about it a few times on this show, but the biggest injury news in this game, it's around the starting quarterbacks because I don't think you're going to see either starting QB in this one. Jimmy Garoppolo, I believe that he's going to be out on Sunday. Right now, it's reported that it's up in the air at the time that I'm making this video, but he suffered a back injury. McDaniels said that they dodged the bullet. From what I hear and from what I believe, it's going to be Aidan O'Connell. It might be Brian Hoyer. I do think that that would be a bad move by Josh McDaniels, but then again, it is Josh McDaniels after all. To me, it should be Aidan O'Connell going out there and being the starting quarterback of this team. And then another one is Justin Fields. He's doubtful to play on Sunday. He dislocated his finger or something like that, which means now the Bears are in the exact same position. They're going to throw out a QB that has yet to get out there and has yet to really play. Is it going to be Tyson Bagent? I would love to see Tyson Bagent. I'll get it right sooner or later. Is it going to be Nathan Peterman? Again, they signed Trace McSorley today to the practice squad, but this is a Bears team that does not have good quarterback play. So you're going to get 2 backup QBs on Sunday at noon. Wake up early, baby. It's going to be must-watch TV, and we're going to be enjoying it here on the Raiders Report. So before I go, okay, I got to give you my score prediction. And as it stands right now, this is the lowest over-under of the entire week. 37 and a half. It might be the lowest of the entire year. You're right. It really might be. The Raiders are 3-point road favorites. It's because of the injury to Justin Fields. So what I want to know is this. What's your score prediction for the backup QB battle going on in Chicago? Predict the score. Bears, Raiders. Over-under is 37 and a half. If you want to give your score prediction, go ahead and give it.
Give me Raiders 9-6.
9-6. I know what you were going with. And that would be the worst watch party I think we've ever done. That might be just an absolute bore fest. If the Raiders win, then hey, I would take it. My score prediction for this matchup is this. Give me the Las Vegas Raiders to win 23-13 against the Bears. I don't believe that the Bears are going to be able to march with this way this Raiders defense is playing with a backup QB. And yes, for the first time this season, the Raiders offense will score over 20 points.